we're excited because the results that we got showed that when we added TNX 1700 to the PD-1 blockers, we actually had a decrease in metastases, that's where the cancer spreads, and also an increase in survival.
All right, welcome back inside our Proactive Newsroom. Joining me now is Dr. Seth Lederman. He is the CEO of Tonix Pharmaceuticals. And Dr. Lederman, it's great to have you back again. How are you today?
I'm well. Thanks for having me on, Steve.
Yeah, so the company recently at a AACR conference talking about some data on TNX 1700. Tell us a little bit about TNX 1700, more importantly, what you're seeing in this data.
Yeah, thank you, Steve. We're very excited about TNX 1700. This is a potential drug in development to improve the responses to immuno-oncology agents, or they're called IO agents. And these have been the IO agents, also called PD-1 blockers, have really transformed oncology and also were awarded a Nobel Prize. Unfortunately, not all tumors respond, and one of the groups of tumors that don't respond that well is gastric cancers. So we've developed TNX 1700 in collaboration with scientists from Columbia University to work with PD-1 blockers to make gastric cancer cells more responsive.
Yeah, and you're getting some success in animal testing right now of the ability to reduce that tumor immunosuppression, correct?
Yes, exactly. And we were excited because the results that we got showed that when we added TNX 1700 to the PD-1 blockers, we actually had a decrease in metastases, that's where the cancer spreads, and also an increase in survival. And those are two very challenging endpoints for drugs in development to achieve. And if this translates into human studies, this would be a big step forward in the treatment of gastric cancer.
Yeah. Dr. Lederman, you mentioned gastric cancer. Is it the ability potentially down the road, if it is successful, to look at other sort of hard to treat cancers as well, combining that? Is that something that you would look at past just gastric cancer?
Yes, it is. But gastric cancer is one of the big unmet needs. It's one of the cancers that normally doesn't respond that well to PD-1 blockers. They have been found to be somewhat effective, but an agent that could increase the responsiveness of gastric cancer, particularly in people who don't have a genetic problem called mismatch repair mutation, that remains a very, very big unmet need to increase the number of people who would respond and the amount to which they respond.
Dr. Lederman, it seems like a big job when you look at the number of cancers that potentially people could be getting in around the world. And you're obviously targeting gastric cancer here, but it's the science behind it, I guess, that is really the hope here for people, that if you can solve problems of one, that may be useful in others.
Yes, that's certainly the case. And one of the things that is unique in our data is that generally speaking, PD-1 blockers disinhibit the immune response. So the cancers are inhibiting the immune response, and the PD-1 blockers disinhibit that. And what we're showing is that when the addition of TNX 1700 further disinhibited it and turned on a kind of killer T cell that is known to be active against cancer. So as you suggest, if we get success in gastric cancer, there's a possibility that we could expand this and try to treat other kinds of cancer.
Yeah, fascinating stuff for sure. Dr. Lederman, thank you so much for the update. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Steve, for your interest and for having me on.
All right, Dr. Seth Lederman, the CEO of Tonix Pharmaceuticals.